Hello.
Well. Welcome back, honey.
I know. I feel like I've been gone for like 500 years.
It has. It's been a
5,000
long periodical time.
6,000 minutes.
It's been a long periodical time.
A long period. Hello, everybody. I am
What up,
so happy
people?
to be back here at the Perfectly Abnormal Podcast. I am your girl, actress and advocate, Ashton Grooms.
And I am Perry, the wardrobe stylist, and as Ashton would say, the socialite.
As everyone would say, the socialite.
And half of this dynamic duo that sits before you finally again. Welcome, guys. Welcome back to the Perfectly Abnormal Podcast, where we celebrate everything abnormal, because normal is what, Ashton?
Boring.
As fuck.
Okay. Hey, Perry, how have things been? How are you in your neck of the woods?
Everything is great here. Been holding down the fort while you've been gone here.
And let me just say this. Can I just take this
guests.
moment to get onto my soapbox for you?
Yep.
Like, I am so grateful to have a partner who, says, no, we're going to keep the show moving, even when you're not there. It feels great to have that kind of support, and I thank you so very much. Oh, I think I get what you're saying. So if you hear an echo, there's been some changings around with the furnitures, so that's probably what you're hearing in the background. But yeah, guys, I'm so happy to be back, and thank you so much for your hard work and diligence to showing up and hosting the show.
No problem. It's us. It's a team.
I don't even know who you had. Who you have on the? You had Ron.
I did
with
have
the
Ron.
fashion show. The fashion show was really nice. Nice, Ron.
Great. Then also
and then
had Paul.
You had Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Now, you guys, even though Perry is hosting and I might not be before you, I'm still in the background editing the video, so I get to watch everything as I'm editing. So I did get a chance to watch the shows, and they were really, really good. And I'm so proud of you. Like, you've stepped into this role of hosting very nicely, and to see you do it on your own, and guide the guests, it's really refreshing to see, and I'm very impressed.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem.
You're a mess.
So what's been going on in your world? What's up? Tell me, talk to me, fill me in. Update me, though.
Well, I mean, as everybody knows, I'm here in Atlanta now. So just trying to get acclimated with the new surroundings, new people, meeting new people, and just diving in and just, basically, quote unquote, starting over. That's a big thing whenever, take a big risk and you move across country. And well, it wasn't really cross country. It's like down. Do we consider that down country? Is that considered a word?
It's down.
Down country?
It's down there, because you were northeast coast. Now you're southeast coast.
That way. I just went.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Because you have north, east, west, and south, and then in the middle you have the northeast. Yeah. So you was in northeast. Now you in the southeast.
Okay, wherever.
Come on.
That wasn't my strong suit in school, Ooh.
Come on.
Careful. Anyways, so yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to figure out life now, my new norm, and just getting used to all of that. That's basically where I'm at this point now. Tell me about you. What's going on with you? Like, you've been gone.
Well, yeah, I want to come back to what you just said, though, in just a minute.
Okay.
But yeah, I've been gone. I have been, embarking on some really faith restoring missions, I'll
like
say.
that.
Yeah, I had some of the best couple of weeks of my life. I've met some beautiful people. I've gained new family members. And I can
Did you join a cult?
say, no, I didn't. It feels no, I didn't join.
That's what it all sounded like. I got new family members.
No, I didn't join a cult. It feels like it, though. We were immersed in our passion. for a good 9 days straight with each other. And even though we were in a city that we could have explored and whatever, we still stuck together throughout this whole 9 days. And it was like so just amazing. You know what I'm saying? Meeting other people
Mm-hmm.
who understood your passion and understood, where you could be in your career. You know what I'm saying? Like it felt really good to just meet my people. So I did that. And so we'll see what happens from that. But yeah, I've been living my best life. Honestly and truly. I really have.
That's amazing to hear. I'm
Yeah.
glad that you shared that with everybody.
Thanks. What was I not supposed to share that?
No, I was just
No, but you kind of said it like I'm glad you shared that with it. Like I wasn't like, am I not
no, I'm just saying. I'm just glad you shared
okay?
it with
Yeah,
everybody.
I don't
That's
think I
all.
really shared anything sensitive. I think I just gave a very, you know, nice depiction. Anyway, listen, you were talking about moving earlier. You moved to
That's why she's wearing all
Atlanta.
black and everything else. She got a hoodie on. She just joined either a sorority or a cult or something. So if you guys see her and she comes out and she's doing, the things, just know that that's what she was doing on her time off.
Is that really
But
what you think I was doing? Because
literally,
somebody else, no, legit,
it's
literally,
almost like you were pledging. I promise you, which is like,
legit, literally, somebody, one of my friends, so I told what I was doing. She was like, "Are you joining the Illuminati?"
hello. That's what I
And
was like.
I was
What?
like, "Really,
That's what it seems like,
really?"
honey.
She was like, "It just feels very like Illuminati." I'm like, "You don't even know what is the Illuminati? So tell me what the Illuminati is." But no,
Illuminati is a real thing, honey.
is it
That's
really?
yeah, that's what they say.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. Anyways,
That's what she tried to do to throw us off, folks. We know what it is. She joined the Illuminati.
what is
Okay.
happening right now? If I was, I'm dead. Thank you, Perry. Thanks.
Sorry.
Anyway,
Don't
listen.
kill her just yet.
Just yet?
just
Finished.
we're just
All
she has a lot of living to do. Don't kill her
Listen.
just
So, okay. So before I get back to work, because I'm not gonna forget the whole moving to Atlanta thing. I really want to talk about this because it's something that people ask me all the time. But so just recently, I was just minding my business, doing queen things and stuff. And I get a DM. Well, no, I get a notification from Instagram that I got a comment. And it's this woman. And she's like, "Hey, dear, there's a reason why I want you to message me. I wouldn't just message you for no reason. If you can please message me, it's very, very important." So I'm like, okay, now I've had it to where I've met cousins from Instagram. I've met, aunts and long lost people from Instagram. So, okay, cool. So I reached out, I DM'd her and said, "Hey, what's up? How do we know each other?" And she said, "So you don't know me, but I am a something." I forgot what she said, but I can
a
at
witch
my
doctor.
okay, listen. So she was like, "The ancestors led me to
Oh, a
you."
witch doctor. Oh, girl. Okay. Where my sage?
What?
Mother Earth over here. I gotta have my sage going or something. Like,
Why they got to be a witch doctor?
I don't know. It just seemed witchy.
Okay, well, see, here's the stigma that we need to break in the Black community. All right, some
Okay.
not everything that doesn't involve Jesus is bad. Well, yes, it is. Oh, that sounded real crazy.
Oh,
Not
see,
everything that
look at
doesn't
you. See
involve
already.
Jesus
Look.
is bad. Yes, but
The devil.
you know what
I
I'm
knew
saying.
it. I knew. Get
I,
out
I,
of there! Get out of there! Give me Ashton back. Get out of there! You devil! You get out! Get out! All right, get
for
out.
real. Listen,
I don't know. I gotta, it's a saint. Got to do a seance or
listen.
something.
This was right before I got on the plane. So I was freaking out. Like, I'm like,
Okay.
okay. So she's like, my ancestors led me to you and they wanted me to give you a grave warning.
Okay.
And I was like, all right. And she's like, I need you to send me a picture of your face in your right hand.
See, that would freak me. That's these scammers
I
are getting
was
really good
freaked
nowadays.
out.
I
So, and
listen.
that's what I told her. I said, so yeah, I'm not comfortable doing that part. I said, but if you have a message that you'd like to share, I'm completely open, to
Mhm.
hearing what the message is. So she tells me, okay, darling, well, I understand. We'll get that part later. To do a thorough reading, I will need to see your palm and your face. I said, okay. So then she's like, well, I've gotten told by the ancestors that there's someone very close to you who wishes you harm, and they're pretending to be happy for you, but they're really not. And that she said something about that facade can cause you great detriment, even death. That's what
I'm
she
sorry,
said.
what?
That's what she said. So then when I was like, well, bitch, since you got the inside, tell me who they are. Right?
Right.
Like,
Tell me who they is.
who is it? So she says, well, I don't charge, but I do take donations. And here is so and so, and. So then I'm like, okay, girl, whatever. Listen, all right, whatever. So, I feel like it was like rubbish, but then it's still like, because
It
how
has you
you
think,
always hear
right?
those stories about like your friends are really not your friends, and the whole Yolanda Saldivar and Selena thing,
Oh
and
yeah.
what's the girl name that was found in the freezer in Chicago, and they was talking about the girl Irene, her friend drug her down, like all these friend things. You remember that?
I don't remember that story, no.
Kanitha,
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. The girl.
Kanekaline.
Yes. Oh my God. I followed
What's her
that. And I
name?
was
Kanika.
Kanika Jenkins or
Kanika. Yeah, yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah. Her.
Something like yeah,
Um,
yeah, 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 yeah. Her,
but
her,
it
her.
makes you think about your friendships, and I just
Mm-hmm.
told you about a really important friendship of mine that just dissolved.
Mm-hmm.
And you think you know people, right? Because you're most
Mm-hmm.
vulnerable with your friends. But like, what
Right.
if someone, you know what I'm saying? So it just kind of, even though I don't think I really buy it because clearly it was a ploy for money, um, it's still kind of,
Those things make you really just think and like
it
evaluate, and
really
you're
made me
like,
really think. Yeah.
what is they are they here for?
Yeah. So my energy has just been in this, right? So here it is, right? I go and I do this amazing thing, and my energy is super duper high every single day, and it's almost overwhelmingly like
Mm-hmm.
a lot. And then you have me thinking about this portion, then you have me thinking about other personal things, and then still having to show up for myself and the reality, I guess, that is right now of my life. And
Mm-hmm.
it just became like a lot. Like, and I'm like, dang, like I had to pray because I was like, Lord, I'm trying to be open to things, but I feel like did she put like a root on me or something?
You really think that?
Like I don't know. Like I just don't know where she came from. Like why would you just randomly like? I mean, I guess everybody has a hustle, but at the same time, it's just like, and right now of all times.
I'm gonna buy you some sage and
Okay,
a Plinko stick, and I'm gonna need you to
okay,
just like
we're gonna
cleanse
smudge.
yourself.
We're gonna
I need,
smudge.
yeah, I need you to clean. It's a real thing, honey. I need you to cleanse yourself. Speaking of, I took me like a whole little sound bath in the park
I
like a couple of
love
weeks
sound
ago.
baths.
Oh
Oh
my
my
God, it was fucking
god,
amazing. It was like a very cleansing situation,
I
and
love
the
sound
sage
baths.
was going. It was outside. It was like it
Oh,
fucked with my allergies, but it was great though.
in
The
Atlanta?
music, and yeah, I was here in the
Really?
park.
Look at
Yeah, it
you.
was a whole little situation. It was maybe about mm, I want to say about 25 people or so out there.
Wow.
And the girl who actually did the whole thing, she was new to Atlanta too. She's only been here maybe like 3 months or so, and she does these type of things. And we did yoga at first to stretch and open ourselves up, and then afterwards we had the little sound bath. It was
Oh
yeah.
my God. When I come, can we go?
Oh my God, yeah. She does it like
I
once a month
love
type of
sound
thing.
baths. Yeah,
It
yeah.
was beautiful. That was my first time ever having one. And then you pick a card, and the card says a certain word or something like that that you should focus on when you're in the sound bath. And then you pick a crystal. It's very random. And then the crystal that you pick, it usually opens up something or whatever it is. It was really good. But
Hmm.
yeah, I'm gonna get you some sage, honey, because I don't know
Do
what's
you
going on.
believe in like spirits and stuff? Do you believe in like the
Oh
whole
yeah.
spiritual realm and all
Hmm.
that?
I sure do.
Really?
Hmm. It's real. It's real, honey.
Hmm.
Mhm. You don't think that? You don't believe it?
I try to be intentional with my beliefs, and I try
Hmm.
to intentionally believe that, my God is really my only focus. And so I don't tend to focus on the negative energies, evil energies, even though I know that they do exist. I
Hmm.
still try to find the lesson whenever I'm, when I'm approached with one, because there's a lesson there, right? There's a reason why that person was attracted to you or drawn to you. There's a reason why that connection happened and why God allowed that connection to happen. Because contrary to
That's
what a
true.
lot of people believe in this country, I still, or in this world, I still believe that God is way more powerful than any entity that could ever exist.
Oh, I believe that
So,
too.
I don't sit and wonder and things like that. I've never had any experiences other than the supernatural love of God. So I don't know.
I mean, I totally get where you're coming from, and I definitely believe in God and everything else too. But he's a spirit as well. So there are other
Yeah, yeah,
spirits
yeah,
that are
yeah,
around. That's
yeah,
just the only thing. I mean, I don't try to focus on the bad energy and the bad spirits either, but I do want to cleanse and make sure that they're not in my space. So I'm kind of conscious whenever, I have people and guests over and stuff like that. Cause those are spirits. You bring it into your house and everything. You got to cleanse yourself, honey. Just cleanse, cleanse, cleanse. Anyways, back to you, honey. So she tried to ploy you for some money. Of course, you thought about the
yeah.
situation,
I mean,
and
it is what it is. I've released it. I've prayed and everything. It just was just really weird. It was very weird. And, I instantly started thinking, okay, there's Perry, there's this, there's that person. Oh, there's this. Like, and I started to kind of put a list, like, you know what I mean? Like, it makes you really start to
yeah,
look at people and their actions and the way that they treat you, and maybe that was the lesson in that. Maybe I needed to open my eyes to the treatment of others and, you know, see some things that clearly I've been blind to. Maybe that's what it was. That's what I'm
maybe
accounting for.
so.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
take it for what it's worth, honey. Take
yeah.
it for what it's worth.
So back to you.
Hmm.
You said you just moved to Atlanta and stuff like that. By the way, guys, thank you so much for sticking with us. We are now in our 12th episode,
Hmm.
and we're trucking along. We're keeping up with the consistency. Again, shout out to Perry for keeping the show rolling. Along with myself, throughout anything that we've been experiencing here since we started the show. We're so grateful to the
Thank
people
you,
that
guys.
watch and message us every show to tell us something that,
Hmm.
inspired them or whatever their thoughts are. So we thank you so
Thank
much.
you, guys.
And we plan on bringing you way more. We have some interviews and stuff that we want to bring to you and stuff like that. And if you have any ideas as to what you want to see or hear here on the podcast, please just let us know at the perfectly abnormal podcast at gmail.com.
There you go, honey.
But
We're still looking for people for Ashton for dates too. I still haven't
really,
got any
so,
inquiries,
and
and
that's fine
maybe
because
because I haven't
here,
promoted in the past couple of weeks. But now that
no,
she's
no, no,
back
no,
here and she's
no,
back in
no,
front of
no, no,
y'all
no.
faces here,
It's fine.
um,
Listen, guys. So, I've been dating. I'm fine.
wait, what?
Yeah.
Baby, who?
So this is not about that. I wanted to talk to you about moving.
Yeah, but you already done brought it up now.
Well,
You didn't even tell me this.
I'm talking to people, and I am okay with the pick of people that I'm talking to right now. So if no
Who are
one
these people?
sends in it, it's gentlemen,
Gentlemen callers.
gentlemen callers. Yes.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You on
So
them apps, huh?
well, a couple of them came
Oh,
from the app,
oh,
and
okay.
one of them came from in person. So yeah.
Hmm. We're
So
gonna get back
anyway,
to that.
yes, we will listen because it's not
Mhm.
about me right now. It's about you. Okay.
That's
So you moved,
yeah.
and I have had the blessing of always being shareful with my life, and a lot of people know that I've embarked on some pretty big moves throughout my life. And one of the main questions I always get is how? Like, how did you just pack up and leave? How did you find the strength to just up and just go and chase your dreams? I don't think you told people why you've moved to Atlanta. I don't know if it was dream based or what, but how did you do it? How did you find the strength, as a prospectively single person, to just up and just move from one Detroit, Michigan to DC, and then
Mhm.
thereafter to Atlanta? How did you do it?
Sure. Just to answer your question first and foremost, yes, it was dream based as far as for this particular move. My first move from Detroit to DC, it was more so I was just ready for a change. I was young and it was just like, I've outgrown the city. I'm over it. This is too much. Like, let me just go ahead and go. And I ended up going to DC. Um, Stayed in DC for a good 9 years. Had a great run there. I mean, I love DC. I'm still always will love DC. I feel like
Mhm,
that's kind of like where I really grew up at. So that's
mhm,
really like home for me. And then what brought upon this actual move to Atlanta, yes, it was definitely dream based. And me and Ron kind of touched on the topic last week in regards to just saying, like, doing that thing that you love and going after your dreams and just being passionate about things and working that 9 to 5, just so therefore you can get past that in order for you to really just pursue what you really want to do. And I felt that in DC, I was kind of like in a box in regards to me not fully experiencing my passion and my craft and just wanting to involve in there. Like I really developed a lot while I was there, especially within styling and stuff like that. I learned a lot. I was styling full time for a good 3 4 years. And it was amazing. Like I really got my first taste of my passion and what I really want to do in life. So
mhm,
that was the jump start. And then you know how you once you jump start something and you get that box and you outgrow that box. And I felt like that was where I was at, and I needed a bigger pool, sort of
mhm,
say.
mhm,
Um, and that's why it prompted me to want to be like, okay, let me just go out and just do it. I originally was wanting to go to New York, but New York was kind of overwhelming for me. So New York was out of the question. And then of course, like I eventually want to move west. So LA has always been in my cards. I just really just felt like I had to come down south here to network a little bit, to get the people and the people that would just push me forward where I need to go,
mhm, mhm,
gaining a little bit more experience and things like that. Especially with this being the Black Hollywood, there's a lot of studios here, there's a lot of sets and everything
mhm,
else. There's a lot of artists that live here. It's just a wealth of opportunities, and that's where my main goal was just to go out and set forth. I mean, I have a plan, but I don't have a plan type of thing. So it's just like, let me just go, you know?
mhm, mhm.
And if this quote unquote 9 to 5 gets me there, perfect. I'm
Yeah,
there. And then at that point, I'm going to build on top of that. So that's
right.
been my go-getter at this point now. I am still networking, everything like that. And in fact, I have a couple of fashion shows I'm going to this weekend where I hope to network and just be able to immerse myself here in Atlanta. And so I
Mhm,
can make a name for myself. I kind of made a name for myself in DC already. So, and there's a lot of people that I do know who have connections there that have been helping me out for here. But
mhm.
it's just a building thing, and I'm looking forward to build more. And yes, that is my reason why I made the big leap and just went forth with it. So,
Nice.
right?
You never told me that, but I mean, I
Yeah.
guess I knew I was along for the ride, I guess,
Yeah, you've been along for the ride. Yeah.
Yeah, but to hear you put it in that fashion, um, it's like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, it's a different kind of faith, and I don't think people understand truly what blind faith is. When
Hmm.
you don't have a plan lined up, and you don't really have it in control. You just know that there's more for you.
Yep.
And where you might be geographically might not be the place to get that more. And sometimes you have to just make that risk. I just had a breakdown not too long ago, y'all. Um because there are opportunities and there are things, and I just feel a shift. You know how you just feel like you've done the work, you've sown the seeds, your tears have watered those seeds, your work has watered those seeds, and things are starting to come. And it gets overwhelming. It gets very, very
Hmm.
like, whoa, right? And I've reached out to a few of my friends, like, I don't know if this is gonna work. I don't know why I'm always called to make these risky risks,
Hmm.
and I think it really has a lot to do, now that I've had time to process it. I think it has a lot to do with actually knowing what it is that you want.
Yeah.
And when you know what you want, that blind faith that Perry was talking about, it just comes. It just, no matter if you're afraid, and you told me that day, the day you were to leave, and you sent me a picture of the car on the trailer, and you were
Mhm.
like, I'm scared. Like I am,
I'm
what is
petrified.
this? You know?
Yeah.
But there's something that just it you just know. I think it's God. He
Yeah.
lives in your gut and he tells you, this is what I need you to do. I need you to get to Atlanta because I need you to be seen by someone that's in Atlanta. And the chances of them seeing you in DC, I gotta orchestrate this perfectly. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so it's just
It's
trusting him.
it's a lot of trust,
Yeah.
and I think everything is aligned in how it's supposed to play out. I mean,
Yeah.
I've had plans on moving years before. And like I said before, I
Mhm.
was wanting thinking about New York and things like that. This has always been in the works of like, I just need to go and just do that. But as you say, everything is aligned in a certain way, in a certain aspect of how it's supposed to happen. So I originally had a job offer like maybe 6 months ago before
Mhm.
previous. And it was literally offer was given, everything. And it was to come here. It was just like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and move at that point. Um, Not even a week later, the offer was rescinded. I'm
Mm.
just like, what?
Mhm.
How do you rescind an offer that you've already passed through HR? You've already done this, you already done that, and you just rescind the offer.
Mhm.
And I was just like, what the heck is going on? Um, so of course I was kind of bummed out at that point. What is going on? I was going ahead and make this leap. I was going ahead and do this change here. And then now you push me back and it's not happening anymore. And I'm stuck again. Okay, God, you just don't want me to move then. Okay. Is something else still here? Something else I still have to develop or whatever the case may be. I just took it as that. Of course, still bummed out in my head, like, because I'm just not moving how I wanted.
Yeah.
And then 3 months later, 4 months later, I'm sorry. Yeah, about 4 months later, I get a call from the same manager that hired me before. And he's like, Perry, I got a position open for you. And you were the first person I thought about. And I want to move you here to Atlanta, blah, 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 blah. This time the offer will not be rescinded. I made sure of this, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, really? Now? I'm not even thinking about it now. Like,
Yeah.
I've already
Yeah.
done settled myself back in. I nestled myself back into this comfort space. And I was just like, what am I supposed to do? Now, mind you, 2 days or maybe 3 days before that, I had accepted another position that was going to still lock me down in the
Mhm.
DMV area. So within the company that I am now, like once you accept a position, you can't move for another 6 months,
Mhm.
6 months to a year.
Mhm.
It's just that you have to lock, you can't apply for anything, you can't do anything else until you fulfill that term.
Mhm.
So with me already being locked into that, I had just got the offer for the other one. I accepted that one. I was literally in training for the other position, and that's when he called me and was just like, "Yeah, I just got this position." I was like, "I already accepted a position already." I was like, "But let me just try to see what's going on because obviously this came up for a reason." And
Right.
he's like, "Yeah." He was like, "Just go ahead, just talk to him. I'll talk to your managers. I'll talk to everybody because I really just want you." And I'm just like, okay.
Mhm.
So the next morning I get up and I'm talking to my manager. I'm like, hey, can I rescind my, position? Like, is it a way that I can just like back out of it and still stay in my old position? Blah, blah, blah. Like, why? What's the reason? Like, you're good. You've been promoted. This is a promotion for you. You've got a pay increase. What are you backing out for? And
Mhm.
I'm like, well, I got another position in Atlanta that was getting to me before, and now it was presented again, and I'm just ready to go. And they're just like, well, you're already kind of locked into this. We'll have to talk to HR and stuff like that. They took a good about 2 days or so. It had to go all the way up to the director and everything else. The director had to
Mhm.
pull some strings and to pull me out of that position in order for me to get it. I say all that to say that everything happens for a reason in regards to all of it, because I'm here now. And I wasn't even thinking about coming here again.
Mhm.
There were a lot of situations I was in at that point. I was kind of in a let me just say it. I was in a relationship at the point. Glad that shit is over with. But my partner at that time, we were thinking about moving together here, and that was the first thing. That was the first jump from it. But I just feel like God just like, no, we got to get rid of this motherfucker first because you can't go down there with him.
That's what God said.
That's what.
Well, All right. Well,
What you see it
if
as?
that's what your God had said, baby, that's all that if
He
you
said
heard
he
it.
said that. He said, get rid of that motherfucker. I mean, we need to get you down there solo so you can really navigate how you really need
Yes.
to navigate and
Yes.
just put you in your space. And I
Hmm.
say all that to say is that, me being in DC, and as I said before, I nestled back in, I was comfortable. A lot of times people don't go out and fulfill their dreams because they're so comfortable. And sometimes
Yeah.
it takes that uncomfortableness
Mm.
in order for you to really grasp exactly what life is, right?
Yeah. But sometimes that uncomfortableness becomes comfortable too. And I think that that's where a lot of people get stuck, in
Oh,
that place of unhappiness that's just so settled in your body that you've become numb to it, and it becomes something that you start to perform in, and you almost can't function without it, because it gets so deep inside of you. And I think um, it's very challenging to stay out of that place, even when you are pursuing a dream, and when you
mhm.
are chasing something, and it might not go the way that you think it might go, and it might start to slow down or get quiet or whatever, and you get to that place of, that chaos becomes comfortable again,
Yeah,
that uncomfortability that you've known, becomes comfortable, and then there's a moment when it just doesn't anymore, and you look at life a lot differently. You realize how fragile it is and how short it really can be. um I mean, really, really can be, you know what I mean? and
yeah,
and you I don't know about you, but I always see myself at like 97 years old, really being proud that I got to go out and try to do what I loved, even if I don't succeed, and
mhm.
I didn't want to be depressed at 97 when I look back and say, oh, I wish I would have done,
Yeah,
and I wish I would have done this. I want to get to that age and really say, you lived and you didn't let anything, because everything in this world that's an obstacle is really just an illusion. It's
yeah,
not real. You know what I'm saying? And if it is real, what does it mean? Who invented it? You know that what's for you is for you, and God isn't gonna put anything in your heart that isn't meant. And I think that some people just get stuck, and you don't go after it anymore. So now that you've moved to Atlanta, you've made that jump. You've
mhm.
trusted that blind faith that's so scary.
Oh my God.
Um, are you finding blessings have come to you? Are you finding um that you're more creative minded now? Are you attracting people to you? Like, how has it been since you've made the jump?
Well, let me first saying that it's only been a month. Only been a
Right.
month and maybe a week at this
Right.
point now.
Right.
So things are just developing. I will say that I am more at peace. I would say that I'm
Mm.
more at peace with a lot of things. I am starting to embark on being more creative. I am in a different space. So, of course, that, your environment adapts new visions and things like that for you to being creative. And like I said, I'm just really just starting out now. So I'm really starting to meet people and things like that and find my way.
Mhm.
So check back in with me in a couple more months and we'll see about that. But at this point now, I'm just taking it for exactly what it is. I am learning myself again in a new space,
Mhm.
and that's a big thing because you know
What are
yourself
some
in
things
it.
that you're learning about yourself? I'm sorry.
Things that I'm learning about myself is how I'm able to. I don't want to say just be on my own because I was always on my own, but
Mhm.
it's a difference when you're on your own and not having that support in the background type of thing.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
I had the friends I can call up and say, hey, let's go out to happy hour today, or let's do this, let's do that. At this point now, I'm starting from the bottom up and I don't have those people to really just fall into and just call on. So it's literally me depending on myself. So it's literally
Mhm.
like, all right, Perry, you want to go to this event? Go to it by yourself. You want to
Yeah.
go out to eat go out to eat by yourself. You don't have to have
Yeah.
anybody with you. And
Yeah.
I think that's where I learned the most about me. Even when I was younger growing up, I had a friend who pushed me for that. And shout out to her. She's been a blessing in my life with me developing myself. But she was just like, you're here, and you can go out to eat by yourself. You can go to the movies by yourself. Why do you feel like you have to have somebody there with you in order for you to do something like that? And I'm just like, you know what? You're right. She was like, yeah, once a week, take your own self out on a fucking date. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Mhm.
Date yourself. Do something to develop yourself, and not just sit there and think that you always have to have some type of dependent with you.
Mhm.
So at this point now, I am learning that again because I've had dependents being in DC of 9 years of growing friendships and stuff like that. And they were always there. It was like, girl, come over, let's smoke. Girl, come over, let's drink. Girl, come over, let's play Uno. Like it was always something. Now it's more so I'm leaning into myself. So that
Mhm.
is the biggest thing that I'm learning about myself again.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it though. I mean, that's one of the things I think I would learn too is how to just be with me. I think that's a fun part. And I think that's a thing that people are scared of too, just being with themselves. Some people don't know what that's like because they're
Yeah.
so used to, giving that responsibility to so many other people.
Can't do it. I got
Hmm.
to do it myself.
Right. So somebody watching or listening, what tips would you give them if they are at the brink of a huge decision, and they are petrified, right? And they know that to get that of which they want is they have to, get out of, you know, the current environment and move to another one.
Yeah.
What tips would you give them?
First and foremost, I'll tell them to follow their gut. If their first mind is like, just do it, do it. If
Yeah.
you have to think about it too hard, if you have to second guess it, you're doing too much, because at that point, you're not at that point living life, because life is just about, it's constant change, it's constant moving. It's just, you have to just move. Sometimes you
Mhm.
have to settle and just sit in some, of course, too. But when it
Mhm.
comes to those type of decisions, you just wanting to take a leap, just leap. Like you, and just like you were mentioning, I don't want to go back and think back years later, like, damn, I should have done that. Or what if
Yeah.
I would have did that? What would have happened? Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Like
Mhm.
you can't live in those moments like that. You literally have to just embark on new journeys. That's what
Yeah.
life is about. It's meeting new people. It's taking those trips you want to take. It's just daring. Just
Yeah.
be daring and be bold. And what are some of the things that you're doing in regards to just being bold and daring and just jumping for yourself?
Well, I left a corporate job back in 2017. After
I
being
don't
there
think
for
everybody
about
knows that job either. Can you tell the story about that?
okay, sure. So I had gone to college in Arkansas, a very, very rural town. And to be honest, I don't think I've ever said this out loud or to public, but I only went to college to have a place to stay. Um, and so I really didn't care about college. I didn't graduate. I didn't take it very seriously. I made decent grades, but I didn't care, right? So I just needed a place to stay. And then after that, I had gotten to a point where I had to go back and live with my mother. And I was just like, no, this isn't it. My brother and my sister were a lot younger. So I enjoyed being there to see them get off the bus and to get on the bus and to make sure that I was there for them at that time. But I think I was about 24 and I was living on my mother's couch. And it
Mhm.
was the most like gut wrenching feeling ever because I felt like I was just wasting my life. And I met this friend. I do not recommend this, okay? But I met this friend on Facebook, and we started messaging. Again, I don't know how, but I'm gonna sum this all up at the end and let you know what blind faith is and what all is involved. But he reached out to me. We started talking, and we would talk every day for exactly a year,
Mhm.
every day. And it was never anything romantic. It was always like a friend, like a brother and a sister. It was very protective. It was very just like, where did this come from? And I was telling him now here in my mind again, I was looking for another college to go to in another state. So I had some place to stay. And I was telling him about it, and he was like, why are you racking up, all this debt? Again, I'm green. I don't even know I'm racking up debt. I just know I'm gonna have a place to stay. And he's like, yeah, I just, why don't you come here? Now, I had spent some time in Virginia when I was a kid. We lived there for a few years and we would go to DC and stuff all the time. And I always thought DC was very magical. And I knew that I had like family ties from my dad's side. So I was like, okay, like DC is cute. And I was like, so, I don't have a job right now. I have $180 to my name. Like, he's like, it's okay. You can just crash with me until you get on your feet. I don't know why I believed him, but I believed him. And I got on the bus with $180 and bust all the way from Arkansas to DC. And it dawned on me when I got to around about Memphis that this man might not be here when I get to this bus
That's
station.
crazy.
Like, it dawned on me in that moment. I'm like, what? I only have, I don't think I even have enough to get back to, like, I don't know what I'm going to do if I get to DC and have nothing. So we get to DC and I get off the bus, and lo and behold, he's standing right there. And he takes me to his apartment. And very fortunately, it wasn't anything sexual, it wasn't anything romantic. It was very protected. And I met, my now ex-boyfriend, and I've gained other family members that I have now. And it just really worked out really, really well. So anyway, I'm in DC, 4 or 5 years pass. I'm sitting at this cubicle, and this is where I met Perry. But I'm hating it. Like, I am depressed. I am over it. I'm done. I have no life. I'm drained. I'm miserable, all of the above. This woman keeps coming into the office for about, I would say, all of 2 years. She would come into the office, and every time she would see me, she'd ask, what are you doing here? You belong on TV. Now, after high school, I went to acting school, but I'd never taken it seriously again because who is going to cast me? And like, you get all of that life shit in your head that you just can't do something, right? So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, I had that idea and I was like, well, what if I do go to California and try? Well, September 10th came and I quit my job and I drove my behind from DC to Los Angeles, California. Didn't know anybody, didn't have, really any friends there. I think you actually connected me with someone.
Mm-hmm.
I crashed with them for a couple of nights, not long at all. And I lived in my car for a whole year and some months. And I would wake up in the morning and I would go to the mountains or I would go to the beach or whatever, and I would meditate, and then I would go and do audience work, and I would audition for things, and I would get things, and I would show up, and people had no idea I'm living in my car, but I'm there, and I'm, you know, and then I start getting other types of auditions, like for LA's Finest and Star and Pose. I'm like, okay, and it starts to like materialize in front of my face. So I'm like, wow, like there were some days where I didn't eat. There were some days where I didn't know how to eat. There were some days where my EBT wasn't loaded. It was a lot. I had to bathe in a park gas station or bathroom in the park and all this stuff, right? So I'm like, okay, God, like I trust you. Like, okay, I got it. I get it. Like that's the secret. We have to like trust you and go after it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So for me, whenever I did those big moves, and I hope this answers a lot of the questions that I get, like it wasn't about it making sense. I just knew that for me to continue living life, I had to do something different. And I knew that I only stood a chance if I did something different in a really radical way. And I think that's what you were expressing, with your move. Like I had to radically change something. Like it doesn't just happen. Like you don't
Mm-hmm.
just get it by it falling in your lap. Like you have to really, really put forth a really, really valiant effort, or else nothing's gonna happen. You know what I
Right.
mean? And even in the process, it still gets to a point sometimes where it's like, I got to make another risky jump, or I got to do something, and it's like, yeah, you just, the risks are gonna be there, and There are some people that are just fine without taking the risk because it's just too risky, but I don't want to be that person.
I commend you for
Yeah.
doing that. Driving across country and everything that I told you, you are strong in so many sense
Thank
of the
you.
word. Because that's something I would have never done ever.
Yeah.
You just it's just crazy. Like even you just like I've heard this story from you 1,000 times, but every time that I hear it, it inspires me even more every time that I hear it from you. Because again, that is you look back at yourself and like, can I do that? And I'm like,
No.
hell no,
I
I
look back
can't
at
do that.
myself like, and literally little like spurts of fear jump up in my body because I'm like things could have really went. I mean, I'm out here in the world by myself, a 6'2" Black trans woman, and I just have a dream, and I'm stopping at these gas stations in these small towns with, you know, other cultures of people that I don't know where I am. I don't know what could happen. And I get my butt back in my car, get my gas, and I just drive on, and nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nothing threatened my life. Nothing scared me. Nothing. It was a
You were covered. You
perfect
were you were
ride
covered. You were
the
covered.
entire way. Yeah.
Can we talk about the other side of that though? So what happens or where does your mind go when it does not quote unquote work out at that moment? Like you having to move back and not being LA anymore. Like what happens in those moments? Where does your mind go and how do you balance yourself after those type of I want to say maybe blows that come to you because at that point
Yeah.
it's like it didn't pan out how I wanted to be. I'm not still there and thinking how it's supposed to be in your head. What happens in that? How do you balance yourself with that?
I'm still learning that part, right?
Okay.
Because it's a balance. It's a balance when you get to sit next to Brandy in a makeup trailer and you get equal space. You get to talk and you get to laugh and you get to input in conversations. And then you get to go to set and you're directed by Mario Van Peebles or Tasha Smith, or Eagleson. And you're like, whoa, like, okay. And then you're flown back to reality.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? It fucks with you in a supreme way because it's like I like my energy level for what I do in reality is here, but my energy for my passion is here. And I want to do this all the time, but I have to, you know, um, it fucks with you. It fucks with you. And honestly, this is the part of the process where people get addicted to
mm,
whatever it is that they find is, consoling in that moment. But yeah,
that's
I
deep.
don't know. I'm still learning that. It is it's a challenge. It's a humbling
It definitely is a challenge.
challenge. And you find yourself sometimes even getting mad at God because it's like, God, what do you like? Why do I always get a taste of the ice cream? I want a whole bowl and I want to savor each bite and I want to eat it until the very last drop. Why do you keep taking the ice cream away from me? You know? And so yeah.
That's deep and that's crazy. Like
Yeah.
for you, I can't even put it into words. Like that's a lot, and you were just experiencing that. It's a lot too. Is there anything that you can possibly share on this journey of you learning that with the people of like maybe a tip or two or something that you do for yourself in order for you to at least cope for the day or the hour or whatever it may be to get you through whatever it is. Mhm.
Um my my number one tip is that God is real. And you might not understand it. Um, it might not make any sense, And there might be times where you have to make something happen and you don't have a way to, but God will come through and he will give you a strength that nobody can break. And he will keep the vision and the focus of your mind so that everything you do has a purpose. So, my tip, if you don't know him, get to know him. Whatever that is for you, just get to know him because he is the ultimate, man. He is so good and he will make things happen that you never even imagined, like ever. So that's my only tip.
That's a perfect one. That's the perfect one. Good answer. I'm sorry to get you so emotional, baby.
No.
I didn't think we were gonna do that. I'm sorry. But it's real though. It's real.
So real.
It's so real. Like this is real life, guys. Like this is something that we deal with daily. And I think I was speaking with Ashton earlier in regards to like this is for me. I can speak for me. Me coming to you guys weekly and just expressing, certain things. We can talk shit and everything like that. This is my outlet in regards to the normal life of working a 9 to 5 that I don't want to fucking be at. Having to deal with certain individuals. It's just a lot. It's overwhelming. And then on top of that, just like Ashley was saying, like for you to get a taste of your dream and your passion and everything like that, and then for you to just be smacked back down, it kind of discourages you. Am I really supposed to be doing this? Am I not supposed to be doing this? And you kind of question it, but then you have to think about God and just think about timing and think about that he's always working in the background. Always. He's putting things together for you. You think it might be clear for you at that moment, but it's not. He's literally clearing the path for you. He's getting you there at the right time, right place, right moment. You're gonna meet the right people, everything. And you have to endure patience in regards to all that and keep your faith alive. That is the biggest thing that's going to keep you and motivate and propel you forward and through it all. And Ashley, I'm so proud of you. So proud of you.
Likewise.
You have no idea. You have no idea.
Likewise.
Keep it going, honey. Don't let this shit get you down.
We
Okay?
here, baby. We here. We here all year. We here. I'm good.
All
I'm
right.
good. Absolutely. Thanks for such a great conversation. If you guys noticed, we did switch it up just a little bit. We were finding, and this is a total transparent moment, we were finding that we were expending a lot of energy on things that we didn't want to. Yeah. And now we're tailoring it more to things that are filling to the soul. And we hope that y'all take this ride with us, y'all. We are strong advocates of mental health, especially within the Black community. And there's so much going on with us all the time. Not even just the worldly things, but just personal things that we're all dealing with. And that's the direction that we want to take this show in. Really speaking to souls and spirits and restoring you in some kind of way. And we hope that the conversations and the content that we bring you, it does that. So thank you again so much for subscribing and liking and sharing. Perry, I love you so much and I missed you so much.
I miss you too, baby.
Yay. All right, y'all. I'm Ashton. Peace out.
Peace out, guys. Perry.